Hello lads and lassies and welcome back to my channel. It's Mr. Mayhem. Today we will be going through what I watched for March 2023. Now this is going to be quite a long video, I would imagine, because I watched a lot this month. This month felt so long, but not in a bad way. It's been a really awesome month. So we're just going to get into it. But as always, you know the drill. If you enjoy this, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. You can support me on Patreon, links and Instagram, links in the description. Let's just get into it. So first thing I watched this month was Doctor Sleep with Callum. I rewatched this with him. I saw it in cinemas originally. Absolutely fantastic film. Just perfect sequel to The Shining, in my opinion. I love it to bits. It is fantastic. 4K looks good. That's a 4.5. That was on the 1st of March. Sorry. I'm very muddled when I come to these, I know, but then on the 3rd, the cinematic event of all mankind happened. Creed 3 came out. Me and Callum went down to an IMAX and we saw it. It was like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. But we saw Creed 3 in IMAX and it was awesome. I love this film. I love it to death. It is fantastic. I've always loved the Creed films. They're very near and dear to me and Callum's heart for different reasons, but we both love it so much that like this film has become very much a me and him film, so it's fantastic. But yeah, first time I saw it, it was a 4.5. And that was on the 3rd when it came out. Then on the 7th, I rewatched Creed and Creed 2, the 4Ks for the first time. 4Ks didn't really notice much difference, but it did look sharper as it always does. I love these films to death. They're both 5s. Absolutely fantastic. Pretty sure I've talked about Creed 2 before, but yeah, brilliant. Pardon me. And then on the 9th, I rewatched Scream 5 with Callum, and in that evening we saw Scream 6. Scream 5, I really like. When I first saw it way back when, I thought, wow, this is way better than it has any right to be, and it still holds up as being absolutely awesome. So Scream 5 is a 4.5, and that was the first time watching my 4K as well. And then Scream 6, I loved it. We saw it in 4DX, 3D. The 3D didn't exist, but the 4DX was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. I think those two sequels are nigh on perfect, personally. There are stuff where like the twist didn't work for me the first time, but yeah, I just thought the set pieces, the gore, the characters are so likable. Like the core 4, if you've seen it, they're just so likable, and that does a lot for me for the film. But it's fantastic. I give it a 5. I just really enjoy them. And then on the 10th, the much anticipated for me at least, Luther Fallen Sun came out. I enjoyed it. At its core, it's what I want it to be. It's just a feature-length episode of Luther, but I do have a couple of problems with it. 1, it doesn't feel as gritty as it did on the BBC. 2, I don't know, something was just off. Like, it just felt weird. Like, I did really enjoy it, but it was kind of strange. Like, a Luther works in a movie format, but I feel like it works better in a TV format. But I gave that a 3.5, and I did like it. Then on the 11th, I rewatched Scream, watched my 4K for the first time. This was my girlfriend. This was me showing it to her before I went to see 6 again. So we watched that. It's Scream. It's fantastic. If you've not seen it, watch it. It is brilliant. That's a 5. And then the same day, we rewatched Scream 2 right after. I actually really enjoy Scream 2. I think it is really good how it deals with Sydney's PTSD and how it plays on sequels, and the fact that it was such a messy production is amazing to me. How good that film came out, and it's got my boy Timothy Oliphant in it from Justified, which Justified City Primeval. If any of you are excited for that, let me know. And if any of you are Justified fans, let me know, because that shit slaps. It's a 4.5. And then that evening we went to the secret unlimited screening, which, as I predicted, was Dungeons and Dragons. And let me tell you, that shit slaps. Honestly, it is way better than I thought it was going to be. I was one of the people that was like, it's going to be garbage. But honestly, it slaps. It is so funny. Chris Pine is incredible. He needs to be more comedy. The action, the set pieces, everything was just so well filmed. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm seeing it again with my girlfriend next weekend, but honestly, it is brilliant. And we got to see that a good 20 days early. Honestly, absolutely fantastic. If you've not seen Dungeons and Dragons, I encourage you to go see it because it is hilarious. It's by the same guys who did Game Night, I found out after, which makes so much sense because that film slaps as well. But please go see Dungeons and Dragons. Please support it. It deserves a sequel. It's amazing. That's a 4. And it could go up to a 4.5. I don't know, but it's brilliant. Then on the 12th, I took my girlfriend to see Creed 3. And again, that shit slaps. I've upped it to a 5 now because it's I love it. It's fantastic. Not much more to say in it. It's Creed 3. It's brilliant. I think I do have issues with it, but again, they go away after a while. I think the fights are so well filmed. The acting is incredible. The issue I'm talking about is that I feel like the first hour goes by, it's a good pace, but then it fucking shoots off. Like the pace just goes so fast after that, and it feels like stuff's a bit rushed. Like, well, actually, I'm not gonna say anything, but if you know, you know. It's a lot of elements that happen feels quite rushed, but overall, fantastic. Music is brilliant. Acting is incredible. Just everything is just top notch. It's a 5. And then that same day, me and my girlfriend rewatched Wizard of Oz because she bought the 4K. Like I said in my pickups video, I respect this film out the ass. It is incredible for when it was made, and it's still quite good now. It just doesn't do much for me. The 4K looked great. I'm just gonna leave it there. That was a 3. Then after that, we watched Scream 3, which is the weakest sequel in my opinion, but it's still actually really good and talks about a lot of topics that you wouldn't think considering the company behind it, and the people who run it. If you know, you know. But still really, really good. Still thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a 3.5. Then on the 14th, I watched I rewatched, along with Screen 3, I rewatched that. I rewatched Rocky, which, controversial opinion, I find Rocky 1 to be very, very boring in my opinion. It just feels to me like I get it. I just don't enjoy it. I find it quite boring. That's it. I respect it for what it is, and it's inspiring, but to me, it just doesn't do much to me. The fight's quite short, but yeah, that's just my opinion. I give that a 3. I do like it, but then the same day I watched Rocky 2. Rocky 2 I think is a lot better than Rocky 1. I like how it goes into his sort of, what should I say? I like how it goes into what he does with the money, how he just spends, then he's bankrupt again, and then he gets work, like normal work, but then he gets laid off, and then he goes back to Mick being like, I need to fight something I can do. And then Mick's like, your eye, like it's like you could go blind, and it's just this thing of like he needs to fight because it's all he can do to provide for his family, and it's great. And the fact that he wins is awesome as well. And at the end where he's just like, yo Adrian, I did it, it's just, that hit me right in the feels. It's brilliant. It's a 4. And then I rewatched Rocky 3 in the same day right after that, 14th. Again, I really, really enjoyed this film. It's cheesy as fuck, like Thunder Lips. It's dumb, but it's great. My favourite part about it is Apollo training Rocky after Mick dies. It's incredible. The bromance is insane, and yeah, I just find these films really, really good. Like I like all the sequels apart from 5, but we'll get to that. And then on the 15th, I watched Rocky 4. Before it was my favourite sequel, it is not now, but it's still a lot of fun. It's very cheesy. Pauly's sex robot is weird. Fight with Drago is a lot of fun and quite intense. The Apollo stuff is really sad. The training montage is ace. I just really enjoy this film. It's a 4. Then I rewatched Fast 5 with Callum because we're doing 2 Fast films a month and up until Fast X. So I rewatched Fast 5 with Callum, and it's my favourite Fast film. It's a 5. That's it's insane. This is on the same day, by the way, the 15th. Incredible. So much fun. The fact that a lot of it was practical. It's so stupid, but it's so much fun. And the soundtrack slaps. So That's a 5. And then right after that, on the same day, I watched Rocky 4, the director's cut, which I think is superior to the theatrical. It takes out Polly's sex robot. It makes everything a lot more intimate, less silly. It's a lot more serious, and I really enjoy that. That's a 4.5. Then on the same day, I watched Rocky 5. That film was boring as fuck, honestly. It's a 2. I was on my phone for most of it because I just did not find any of it interesting. The final fight is fun, but it's cheesy. Yeah, it's a 2. I don't really like it. Rocky Balboa. It's my favourite Rocky film. I love it. I think that it was such a brilliant idea, and the way it's executed is fantastic. It's so wholesome. There's so much heart to it, and it's just brilliant. Honestly, it's a 5. And then the last film I watched on the 15th was Creed. I've already talked about it. Creed's awesome. You know. And then on the 16th, I watched Creed 2. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's awesome. You know, the works. Then on the 16th, the same day, I watched Rambo 1, 2, and 3. Rambo 1 is fantastic. Didn't really enjoy it much when I was younger, but I really do appreciate it now. That's a 4. Rambo First Blood Part 2 is... It's decent. It's fun. But nothing startling. I can see why people hate it, but it's a 3. And then Rambo 3 is just boring. It's a 2.5. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. Then on the 17th, I saw Creed 3 again with Callum. Again, it slaps. It's a 5. It's awesome. And then after that, I watched Rambo 4. I rewatched it. It's my favourite Rambo film. It's awesome. I think just how tortured he is in that film is great. Not great, isn't, you know, but you know what I mean. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a 4.5. Scream 4. Really, really good. Really, really solid. The opening scene is hilarious. It's Scream 4. It's awesome. I think it's brilliant. It's a 4. Then on the 18th, I watched Rambo Last Blood, which shits on the great ending that Rambo 4 had for the character, where he goes home. I do love the final conflict with the cartel. I think it's brilliant. But overall, the only thing that stops it from being worse than Rambo 2 and 3 is the fact that Stallone puts in such a good performance that, yeah, I do enjoy it, but there are a lot of problems and it is quite unnecessary, but it is entertaining. That's a 3. And then right after that, the same day, I rewatched Scream 5 again with my girlfriend, and I just upped it to a 5 because I have no problems with it. It's awesome. And then the day after that, on the 19th, we went and saw Scream 6 again. Fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, still loved it the second time. The twist worked more for me the second time, but yeah. And then later on in that evening, I went and saw Creed 3 with Callum again. Again, it slaps. It's a 5. What else do you want me to say? And then in that evening, we went back to Callum's and we watched Southpaw, which is fucking brilliant. Jake Gyllenhaal is fantastic in that film. It's a really, really tough film to get through if you're not in a good place, but it's really good. It's a 4. Then on the 22nd, I rewatched Pacific Rim, which is one of my favourite films of all time, with Callum. It was fantastic. The 4K looks gorgeous. The sound is incredible. I love that film. It's a 5. Drink break, sorry. Then, after that, once he left, I watched Universal Soldier. I didn't really enjoy this film. I didn't like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I liked Dolph Lundgren. It was just a bit boring, to be honest. There were some funny scenes, but overall I just didn't enjoy it, so I actually ended up trading in the 4K that I bought for it, but no, not for me. Not for me. 2.5. Then I rewatched Nobody. My girlfriend came home right before I watched it, so I watched it with her. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's so much fun. Yeah, the fact that Bob Odenkirk did pretty much all of his like choreography and stunts is insane. It's so much fun. I love it. It's brilliant. It's a 4. Then on the 23rd, I watched Undisputed Last Man Standing, Because the Undisputed films were always something that I was interested in, at least the sequels were, because Scott Adkins is in it as Boyka. And I watched it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I ended up actually watching it on YouTube, because there's like 4 copies of it on YouTube that have been up for years. It's awesome. It's fucking ridiculously stupid, but it's a lot of fun. And I haven't watched the rest of them yet, but I do look forward to watching them. And then I rewatched Vertigo with oh, that was a 3.5. I do apologize. Then I rewatched Vertigo in 4K with Callum. That transfer is fucking insanely gorgeous. It is fantastic. It's one of the best I've ever seen. The film is absolutely brilliant as well. It's a 4.5. It's so good. And then the same day after that, after I left his, I watched Fury. That film is amazing. The sound is brilliant. It looks gorgeous. The acting is insane. Just everything about it is just top notch. It's fantastic. It's a 4.5. I love it. It's incredible. And then on the 24th, my favorite film of the year came out. John Wick Chapter 4. I'm not going to say much about it here, but I loved it. My musings should be up for it by now, but perfect. 5. And then on the 25th, I saw it again. On the 26th, I saw it again. On the 27th, I saw it again. I saw it 4 days in a row. Absolutely brilliant. All 5 stars. My favourite film of the year and favourite film of the last couple of years. So good. And then on the 28th, I rewatched Fast and Furious 6 with Callum. My second favourite Fast and Furious, I think. A lot of fun. Really stupid, but a lot of fun. 4.5. And then on the 31st, I watched the Apocalypse Now theatrical cut. I'd only seen the final cut and didn't really enjoy it. Watched the theatrical cut with Callum because he got the ultimate set with all the different editions in it. Enjoyed the theatrical cut a lot, but it lost me when it got to the Colonel personally. Now I know that's the whole point, but it didn't work for me. But it's a 4. And finally, to top off the month of March, what do you think I saw again? That's right, I saw Creed 3 for a 5th time. It's not as bad as Cam, he saw it 8 times, but yeah, topped off the month with Creed 3. Saw it with my dad because he hadn't seen it, and yeah, it was awesome, and it was a fantastic way to round off the month. 5 obviously, so I honestly thought that was going to take me longer to get through, but that's what I watched this month. My favourite thing I watched this month is probably John Wick. Obviously, it's pretty obvious, but if you haven't seen it, go see it, please. Do not make another one, but go and see this one. So yeah, let me know what you guys watched this month, what your favourite thing is that you watched this month. And yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this, remember to like, drop a comment, subscribe for more, support me on Patreon, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, links in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.